welcome back to another video, and in today's video we have the third annual Continental Classic predictions. This is the third year that we see this tournament, and it is the third year where I'm super excited for it. The past 2 years have been a very good slate of matches with a great finish in the end. Last year at World's End we seen Ospreay take on Fletcher and Okada, and it'll be similar this year where we'll see the semifinals and the finals on the same night. But yeah, how are we feeling about this?
Yeah, I feel like both sides are pretty stacked this year. I like the way they kind of have it kind of turned out, because there's a lot of stories within this Continental Classic this year, and they always kind of do good with these tournaments in AEW, so it's always something to look forward to when you get around to this part of the year, or the Owen Hart tournament part of the year. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, let's kick things off with the Blue League, going through the participants. We start off with Orange Cassidy, Claudio Castagnoli, Mascara Dorada, Jon Moxley, Roderick Strong, and Konosuke Takeshita. So some big names here. So we got some tag team kind of with two Death Rider members, and then also two Conglomeration members. So yeah, how are we feeling about that side?
Yeah, I feel like a big story that's going to come out from this side is going to be Jon Moxley versus Claudio Castagnoli, of course. When we get to that match, that'll be a big moment to see exactly what happens. And then obviously just Jon Moxley being involved in the tournament just in general, because he's been on a losing streak recently, so will he continue that? He's been through a blood and guts match. He's been through a Roderick Strong just match where he went through hell. So will he even be healthy enough to get some wins during this? Will he just take a lot of losses through this, and he's just kind of the guy that gets bounced around during the tournament? So I'm very interested in the Jon Moxley side of the story.
Yeah, I think this side is definitely kind of open for pretty much anybody, but I do think one lock to make it to at least that semifinals will be Konosuke Takeshita. We've seen him feud with Okada, who is the current Continental Classic champion, so he'll be on that Gold League side. But yeah, Takeshita I think is definitely a lock for going into that finals match. But what matches do you think will be some of the bigger ones from it?
Yeah, I think, obviously, like I mentioned before, we've seen Moxley and Claudio. That'll be one of the bigger ones. But I think a thing that will happen is going to be, maybe Moxley is like a win away or something from getting to the next part of that. But Claudio is the guy that's in front of him, and Moxley's expecting him like, all right, we're on the same team. I'm one win away, so you might as well like let me get this win here. But Claudio's like, you're gonna have to work for this one, and then that's kind of what I think I'm leading towards for that.
Yeah, I think for me, the Roderick Strong Jon Moxley match will be a very good one. I think their last match they had, I don't forget when it was, but yeah, their match was really good, and I think that could be another banger. Also, Takeshita and Roddy, and Takeshita and Claudio. Obviously, Takeshita with anybody will be a phenomenal match, but yeah, I think Takeshita will be the highlight of this league. But what two participants do you think make it out to that semifinals?
I think I'm going to go with Takeshita for sure. He is a lock to move on to me. And then also, I guess we go Claudio Castagnoli. As I mentioned, I think that'd be a cool story where if Moxley's one win away and Claudio is kind of the guy in his way and stops him from getting there, maybe he could go on to get it. But if not him, then I guess you could just say Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I think I'm on the fence on two people. I think Takeshita will be one of those people for sure, like you said. But somebody who I think could also kind of do it for a member who we've kind of thought would be in this tournament, and that is Roderick Strong. I think he could make a run to the finals. However, I think eventually he'll get outdone by somebody. But I do think it will probably be Orange Cassidy as well to make it. I think, like you mentioned, the Claudio being that last man to let Moxley get to that semifinals, he'll end up being the win or the loss from Moxley to stop him to get in there. So yeah, the Blue League does look pretty good, but the better league, in my opinion, is going to be the Gold League. And our participants for this one is Darby, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, Kazuchika Okada, and Pac. What matches are you looking most forward to from this league?
Yeah, I think, we've already seen Pac and Darby Allin have a match, so we know that match will be really good. But I think the one that I'm looking forward to the most is something that we got teased with recently, and that is Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kevin Knight. We've got like a short thing with them recently at Full Gear, so it'd be cool to see a full-length match between them two and see what they could really do. And will that lead to a split? Will that lead to a singles push? Can one of them make it to the finals? Probably not, but it'll be really good matches nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, similar to like I said for the Blue League, where you have two Don Callis family members on this side, but then also you have two tag team as well with Jet Speed. But yeah, this tournament or this side, I think will have some really good matches. I think Darby, pretty much against everybody, will be a very good match. I think Kyle Fletcher will have a great run in this tournament as well. But yeah, I think this tournament or this side will be very, very strong. But what two do you think make it out alive?
Yeah, this is as you mentioned before. This is very hard to pick. I think Okada is going to be a lock to move on. Of course, he is the champion. He defended his title for a full length year now. So it'll be him, and then I'm leaning towards Pac. Something is just telling me him. I feel like him getting the win over Darby is something that's supposed to be some kind of statement for something. What does that mean? I'm not sure. Does that just mean that maybe he'll be a Death Riders leader? Could be, but it also could be that he's going to move on in this finals and be a big, hard-hitting guy that's going to be like a real statement maker during this.
Yeah, I think for this tournament, you can go two ways, or you have Okada kind of just easily get to that semifinals, but maybe ends up losing in that finals. However, I think there's a better story to tell him that he doesn't even make it to the semifinals, and we get a guaranteed new champion. Because I don't think I would want potential Takeshita Okada match in the finals to that be their big one-on-one match. So I do think Okada maybe should drop and maybe not make that semifinals. So the people I'm going to go with is Kyle Fletcher as one of them. I think after that TNT champion run, now just losing it, I think he's in for a great run going after that world champion potentially, or now stopping for that Continental Classic. I think he'll have a great tournament. But somebody as well is Darby Allin. I think obviously since returning hasn't had the best moments so far, but I think this could be a difference changer for him. But I do like what you picked as well in Pac. But my official pick will be Kyle Fletcher. I probably will still go Okada, but yeah, I think it will be some pretty good matches.
Yeah, for sure.
But now we have our finals match, or the semifinals matches, and from your two picks, who do you think makes it to the finals?
Yeah, I have Takeshita and Claudio Castagnoli or Moxley, kind of like a 50-50 between those two, I guess. But I am just going to go with Takeshita no matter who his opponent will be.
Yeah, for me, I think I'll also go to Kesha. I think he's a lot to make that finals. Going for the potential win of the G1 and the C2, I think could be a very good statement for him as somebody who is still fairly young for AEW and could be a future bright spot and a future huge star for him down the line. But for the goalie, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Okada. I feel like the story between Takeshita and Okada has been something that's been built for quite a long time, and it lead into the finals of the Continental Classic. Why not do it? Have both of them have double matches that night, which will be very good matches, of course. And then we'll hopefully be crowning a new champion in Takeshita, who will also hopefully be babyface Takeshita by that point. We'll see an official turn. But the scary thing about that match is if you do that in the finals is Okada will have the Don Callis family behind him, and they likely won't be behind Takeshita, so he also could just beat Takeshita. So that's one bad thing.
Yeah, I think for me, having Fletcher versus Okada, Fletcher making the semifinals last year but coming up short against Will Ospreay. I would like to see him get his win back over, or get a win here and make it to the finals, which I do think I will predict is Kyle Fletcher to beat Okada in the semifinals to advance versus Konosuke Takeshita in the finals, which I think would be a little bit too much Don Callis family action, but at the same time, I think for how long this faction has been going and how many strong faction or how many strong members they have of this group, it makes sense for them to have two members in the finals as well. So I will go with Kyle Fletcher and Konosuke Takeshita to meet in the finals. But for you, who do you think wins the Continental Classic?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Takeshita. He's a guy who I really want to win. I want to see a good babyface Takeshita run. He has the IWGP Championship after winning the G1 this year. So in theory, he should be the most kind of gifted person in tournament brackets, at least as of right now. Obviously, Okada has that kind of accolade to his name as well, of course. But Takeshita's kind of the new guy that's coming along to kind of replace him in my mind.
Yeah, for me, unfortunately, as much as I would like Kyle Fletcher to get the win here. I think I will also go with Takeshita. Like you mentioned, I think this is his tournament to win. He has a story, like you said, with Okada, so if it is Okada he does meet in the final, I think that is still going to be a very fun match. But yeah, I think Takeshita will be in it to win it, and yeah, I think it will be a very cool night to see Takeshita kind of be able to finally look down on Okada after all the shit Okada has put him through, beating him up during matches, hitting him with the Rainmakers and stuff like that. So yeah, I think a babyface Takeshita turn to win the tournament will be a very big moment.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, that will do it for our Continental Classic predictions. Let us know what your guys' predictions are down in the comments below. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next one.